So hello, my name is Frederick Dunn, and today I'm showing you something that I use to treat my untreated wood for beehives, for beekeeping equipment, and in particular, the Flow-Hive. Why would the Flow-Hive be different? Well, there are components with the Flow-Hive that you have to consider when you're putting a treatment that will preserve your wood. In this case, what I'm using is called Eco Wood. It's just a mineral finish. It's non-toxic. You can finish the inside and outside surfaces of your hives. You're looking at the migratory covers of my nucleus colony boxes there. They look like redwood. They're just pine. And this is the tint that you get when you use Eco Wood wood treatment. So pine starts to look like redwood and other things, takes on an olive green cast, and this is only going to get darker as the rain and dry cycles continue. These bottom boards are several weeks old already, and with each rain and dry cycle they get darker. This is a Flow-Hive 2 7-frame super. It is made out of cedar. Now cedar is naturally rot resistant on its own, but Eco Wood's going to give you extra protection that doesn't require any continuing treatment or refreshing of the surface. We also do the inside and outside after I've put it together, and these plastic see-through windows that are on the side so you can check the end frames for progress with the bees. I put those on first, and the Eco Wood has a wetting ability of water, so it just goes right in. This is the box that it comes in. It's a dry packet, Eco Wood treatment. This is a 5-gallon mix pack. I recommend you use it all at once. They also sell a 1-gallon method. This is not endorsed by them. I paid full price for it. And I'm just telling you what I use because I'm constantly asked, what kind of finish can I put on my Flow-Hives? Well, it's the same as any beehive. You really want to be a purist? Get distilled water to make sure there's no artifacts in it. I just used filtered water, and I use this tote. This tote will hold 5 gallons or more. And it's also as long as the beehive components. I have to have a mixer to stir it up. So all this stuff is a powder. It's composed of natural substances, minerals. It has no solvents, leaves no residue. It's safe for water, for soil. If you've got a pond, if you've got a garden, this is going to have no negative impact. So I just use this mixer on my battery-powered drill, and I mix it up. The other thing is I can leave it in this tote, cover it up, and use it for several days. I don't have to do everything all at once. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to apply it. You're going to find out. This stuff is really simple. I also suggest you wear something like nitrile gloves. Not that it's harmful to your skin, because according to the manufacturer it is not. Not harmful, non-toxic all the way around. But I think it could stain your fingernails, get up under there, so why not just wear something, So anyway, this stuff is going to last a long time. I have no idea just what the company said. 20 years, who knows? But I've had it for several months now, and I like the way it looks, so I'm going to go ahead and start staining other Flow-Hive boxes. This one's made out of hoop pine. Lighter color. If you're doing pyrography and things like that on your boxes, hoop pine looks really good. The stuff is dense, really hard. And again, this is with a Flow-Hive 2. That's a Flow-Hive 2 Super. Now the other thing is, do you have to glue your stuff up ahead of time? You can. Or you can soak your pieces independently before you put your hive together. I found a problem with that because some of the panels I found, especially with the lighter pines, with other boxes, that doing the panels before assembly can leave them prone to warping. So remember, it is just like putting it in water. The wood gets wet and it dries out. So if you've got big pieces that could warp, they might. So I recommend assembling everything first. Even these little window closure holders are okay to have assembled ahead of time. If you have glue in the joints, the Eco Wood does not penetrate the glue. Obviously, anything non-porous it's not going to soak into. I also get a nice heavy nap roller like I have here. And that's just so I can make sure that it gets into the handholds and things like that, because if your tub that you're going to dip your wood components in is not deep enough, then it won't reach the handles. They form little air pockets. We want to make sure that that's covered. It has a high wetting ability, so it soaks right into all the open joints. It's supposed to automatically fill cracks and crevices as they open with aging when it's exposed to the weather. So that's interesting. Keep in mind, I've not used it for years. I've only used it for months. But I like it so much that I'm going to go ahead and do this. Now the little window panel there that's on the bottom, you can see that the water with the Eco Wood minerals soaks right in between there. And that's kind of an indicator of how long I'm putting it in the water until I see it soaks in all the way. 3 or 4 minutes per piece seems to be the sweet spot. And it makes the wood look old, look aged, but it does have that pretty consistent olive green color overall. Some people say they turn silver. Depending on the wood that you're putting the finish on, you get a different tone maybe, but the grain definitely becomes pronounced. So you're looking at the top there, that's been treated, that is cedar. And then directly underneath is the hoop pine, and those are 2 different iterations of the Flow-Hive 2. They all have the same metal strap across the bottom, which is made out of aluminum. And then there's the top, cedar for comparison, untreated, cedar that's been treated, second box down from the top. It doesn't matter that the stuff gets on your screws, on the latches, or even on those plastic clear view windows. You can wipe them clear with a soft cloth after you dip it in the Eco Wood treatment. So it's pretty good to go. And the top box, of course, is all put back together. You could try doing it with everything together, but I prefer pulling the parts off, but have it assembled, as I mentioned before. There it is, nice and wet. Just been treated with Eco Wood. So I'm also going to show you in my apiary some of the hives that have been sitting there for a while. If you want an ultra crystal clear view through those lucite panels on the sides, make sure to wipe that down with a soft cloth before it dries. And that's what it looks like. Of course, this is kind of the wet look. It dries out and looks kind of silvery right off the bat. So here's the comparison. Hoop pine all the way to the left, older treated cedar in the middle, freshly still wet cedar on the right. Now here we are out in the apiary. Look at the middle box. The top box with the Q on it is untreated pine. The middle, medium super, is treated pine with Eco Wood, and then the bottom is a Hoover box that is coated with 100% beeswax. Top box here, medium, is with Eco Wood. That shows you how dark it gets. With each rain dry cycle that goes through, it darkens up. So if you don't like this dark olive green color, maybe you won't want it. Here's another Flow-Hive 2 6-frame version, which matches the 8-frame Langstroth, complete with the stand. That's all been treated with Eco Wood, so it looks like weathered silver kind of cedar there. And that's it. It protects it. Now we're looking at 4 nucleus boxes. They're all made out of pine. The 3 from the left are all treated with Eco Wood. The one farthest to the right is just pine, and it did suffer some warpage, and it did suffer some kind of rot there on the lower left corner of it, untreated. This one is another Flow-Hive, and it's been treated with marine quality spar varnish, Helmsman's spar varnish, and it's holding up pretty good, but I had to give that 3 coats, and it's time consuming, and you can't put it right out in the weather. Now, one of the reasons that I like this for the Flow-Hives is they have the spirit levels built in. The Eco Wood has no effect on the glass vials that are stuck in there. You can't do that with paint, and it reaches all the surfaces, including the vents. This is the side level, which shows the correct position for when you're harvesting honey. You can still read it. I dipped the whole thing in Eco Wood. The other thing is the bottom with these threads, those supports, the adjustable feet for the Flow-Hive 2, it's okay for those to be exposed to the Eco Wood finish as well. They still function just fine. So here we are with finished pieces, all showing you the color that you're going to get, cedar, hoop pine, whatever the material is that you're going to use. If it's untreated wood, it's going to soak up the Eco Wood, and it's going to be protected for an undetermined amount of time. No refinishing required. I hope that was helpful. If you're looking for something to finish your Flow-Hives with that won't interrupt the function, that will allow you to put things together later if you want to, or it can be dried and glued later after the Eco Wood has been soaked into it. Hope you found it helpful. Thanks for watching, and use it with confidence.